Hello everybody, welcome back to RITCH Talks. I'm Mitch.
I'm Rob.
Today we've got a banger for you, okay? So focus, if you can't see on the board, all right? Okay, we're going to be talking many things, how to focus, why focus is important, why you need to be organized to stay focused, and that's where we're going to start. So this will definitely be more Rob's side of the conversation because he's a much more organized person. But to have focus in your life, to know where you're shooting, you have to have some form of structure at the start anyway. So Rob, take it away, my friend. What is it? Tell me and the audience why organization is important to stay focused.
Yeah, so the organization approach is you want to know what you're aiming towards. You wouldn't be shooting at a target if you didn't know where the target was. You have to have it in your sights. So you want to know and define what your focus is going to be towards. And then you have to find out your why. Well, that's important because at times when you're not motivated anymore, life gets in the way, it reminds you of why you're doing what you're doing towards your end goal. Mm-hmm. And then you have to work out how. So it's not how to focus, it's how to hit your end goal. Mm-hmm. And then once you've figured out your what, your why, and then your how, you have all the tools to then apply that focus in towards your end goal.
It's a good analogy, and you actually brought this up earlier, the bow and arrow analogy. Say for instance you start 100 meters away from it, yeah, okay. So you've got what you want, you move to 90 meters. You've got some form of structure of how to focus. You move to 85. You know actionable steps that can be taken to get towards your end goal. You move to 75 meters. Every single little detail you're knocking down, you're getting closer to that target, and boom,
or getting closer to the bullseye. It may be. Like someone might be shooting with a blindfold on currently because they're not knowing what they're aiming for. They're aiming for something, they know they want to be better at something, but they don't know what they're doing. So as soon as you start taking off the blindfold and going, okay, I know what I'm aiming for now I just have to get closer to that bullseye. Good. And once you start doing that and developing the tools that we're going to give you today, or at least to make a start, then you're going to get closer to where you want to be.
I think the why of how to focus as well is going to be fit your purpose. Okay, so do something that fits your purpose, as we've discussed about many episodes before. But if you have your why, I think your what and your how can fall into place quite naturally. If you know what your purpose is in your life, like your purpose right now is fitness. Okay, you can once you know that, you're like, right, you can explore many different avenues, but you know why you're doing it. So then you know what you want to do, you know how you're going to do it, and at least you're motivated at certain points to do that. Because motivation's a really good focus tool, actually, because motivation's you're not going to have it forever, but for the brief period you are motivated, there's no more drive you'll ever have as a human being. You'll be like, what, fucking hell, I can break through walls and cut through to the earth's crust to get my fucking goal. That's if you're motivated. But motivation doesn't last forever. So it's discipline you want to move into almost. It's why discipline and an organized schedule and a calendar somewhat is going to create some form of bullet point system of how you're going to get from A to B. All right. So my thing is now discipline. So when we go into discipline, many different avenues to go down here. And I feel like,
yes. So touching base on the motivation will come and go for everyone. Doesn't matter if you're the most disciplined person in the world, or you think you're the most highly motivated person in the world. There'll be times where you're just not motivated to do that one thing. Mm-hmm. And if you've got that discipline, what it does, it enables you to do it, whether you're motivated or unmotivated. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're going to touch on now, is the discipline. But what the discipline is to rid yourself from distractions. So how we can start to focus, if you think how can we focus, we've got so many distractions in life. One being the phone. And that's absolutely fine.
Yeah,
we need the phone, right? We all use it. We all have to stay up to date with technology. There's some people that don't need to use it for their profession, but if you're looking to communicate and scale and meet people, maybe the other side of the world, and sell your services, sell your business, or just connect, you really need to have some sort of digital approach to it.
And it's important. I think we can also differentiate here the difference between if you have an actionable goal which doesn't require your phone. So say for instance, you've said to yourself, I want to run a fucking marathon. Probably not best to be spending 3 hours on YouTube. However, if you said to yourself, I want to be a world-class fucking banker, okay, you're probably going to need to spend more time on your phone than the person who wants to run a marathon. So it's like a phone can be a really good handy tool if you're making money off it. Don't get me wrong, we won't get into dopamine today because fuck me, there's all right, just get off on a tangent. But your phone could be useful. Like if you need it for, as we say, like building connections, fucking working on said phone, then yeah, go ahead. But if your goal is to do something like, run a marathon, then put your fucking phone down, get your fucking boots on and go.
Use it as a tool and really use the phone as the key tool in your toolbox.
So it can be a distraction, but it's not always a distraction. Like another key distraction a lot of people face in life nowadays, when you want to go out and get fucking pissed. Do you know what I mean? Because this happens like on a regular basis, especially because we live in the UK. The drinking culture here is insane. Like I cannot fathom to you how many people smash back a pint a night. Like, it's actually quite bad.
Yeah.
But that's a big distraction, like these social distractions.
But it can be a way to de-stress. So this is where getting slightly touching back on the organised approach.
Yeah.
But it's allowing yourself to know when you're working and know when you're not working.
Mm-hmm.
Know when you're using the tool for good and know when now I'm just spending time on it because I want to, or when you're abusing the method.
Yeah.
All right. So this is where a timer is also a great tool.
Yeah.
And when you're committing to work, so I like to think about, whereas I've started my own business, I like to think about I'm still doing sort of 9 to 5 approach. The brunt of my work that I need to do will be within 9 to 5. Obviously, there'll be times when I'm working outside, still have PTs and like between sort of 5 in the evening and early morning before 9 o'clock. But when I'm trying to use my phone for good is between 9 to 5. But if I'll give myself a lunch break still, so therefore I can go on if I want to indulge in a little bit of YouTube or whatnot, or I'll go for a run and we can touch base on that later. Yeah. But it's ridding yourself of distractions when you're committed to doing work. Turn off the notifications. There's now what you can do is you can limit yourself on social media or literally put it on do not disturb. I now put it on do not disturb, put my phone in arm's reach. If someone calls me and I know it's then urgent, I'll let my phone know. So through the settings, who I want to be called by. And if my phone rings, I know it must be important. Then I can choose whether to answer or not when I'm doing my work. And if not, if I allow my phone to be a distraction, I'm not doing myself any justice. And I've lost focus.
You're not focusing. You're ultimately, at the end of the day, you're hindering where you want to be. You're hindering how you want to get there. So the phone can be good, as we discussed.
Yeah,
can be if you want to be a banker. However, if you're taking Rob's approach, like if you're on your phone constantly, but you're like you're doom scrolling, you're doing things like Instagram scrolling constantly, it's not going to be good for you. It really isn't. So it's like having a built-in discipline method is oftentimes a way that people, especially I've spoke to in life, have kept focus, and it's been like a foundation block for building some form of fucking future life for themselves. Where a good way that a lot of people have told me, as we know, keeping fit. If someone's got a good fitness routine, they've built in a mechanism of fitness, whether it's not, you go for a run 5 times a week, you lift weights 5 times a week, you do a spin class 5 times a week, you need to be somewhere at a certain time. It's like a really good foundation for focus, I find.
It allows you to have your own time. And as part of working hard and being smart with your work when you're wanting to work and having that focus, you need to allow time, like organized time, that is for yourself. And you do whatever the fuck you want to do. Yep. If you want to sit there and doom scroll, well, so be it. That's up to you. And that's how you want to spend your time. But if you're spending time with friends, family, and going out for a run, because that's when it's your time, then don't allow yourself to be drawn into doing work. Know that this is my time and I'm not working. We're all culprits of going, I feel a bit guilty because I should be doing the work.
Yeah.
Or actually, I feel guilty because I haven't given myself enough time to de-stress, recharge my social battery.
Yep.
So now you're sitting in that sort of in between where you're going to create more stress.
Yep.
Because now you're toying between, I should be doing this, but I should also be doing that.
And it's important to note that everyone has a different level of work tolerance. Like some people can smash out 15 hours of straight grind a day and be all right. But like if your level of focus is like for the life of you, you've worked on it, you've fucking meditated for like years like a monk, but the only thing you can do is 45 minutes of intense work. Well, it's important to listen to yourself on that sense then. Do the 45 minutes of intense work, reward yourself with like a 15 to 20 minute break, then get back on it. But fucking hell, like, do not burn yourself out trying to like fight your urges. Like, a lot of people in like today's day and age have the attention span of a goldfish. So if we're gonna fucking work, if they're gonna work for like 4 hours straight, nothing productive is gonna get done. What's better, 45 minutes of pure productivity or 4 hours of fighting around?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, know yourself to the point where if you have a goal, okay, say for instance, I said you say to me, you're like, Mitchell, I want to become the best ultra marathon runner. This is a good example all the time in the world. But like, right now, yeah, in your head, you cannot run for more than 30 minutes to save your fucking life. You're not going to go on a 4 hour run, are you? The same applies to work. If you want to be the best investor of all time, but you have the attention span of a goldfish, start with 30 minutes. Don't say to yourself, I'm going to do 4 or 5 hours of intense work right now. I'm really going to smash it. You're not. Break yourself in. 30 minutes, smash it. Then you're like, what? I've fucking done something. If you try and work for 4 hours straight when you have the attention span of a fucking frog, what's going to happen? Nothing's going to get done that's productive. You're not going to be focusing the majority of the time. And this is exactly what we need to talk about, because quite frankly, a lot of people can't focus, especially today's day and age, TikTok brain, it's fucked us all up. But it's important that you know your length, all right? If it's 30 minutes, 30 minutes. If it's an hour and a half, it's an hour and a half. If it's fucking 10 hours, it's 10 hours. But know yourself enough that your focus time, that when you can really drill in, it's individual to you. It's not what the world tells you. You'll go online and someone will tell you to work for 10 hours straight. That might not be you, okay? But if you can smash out 40 minutes, fucking do it. That's where knowing yourself comes in. That's where keep having a baseline level of discipline goes in. It's where knowing yourself comes in. There's ways you can enhance this. I'm not being funny. There's ways you can enhance your level of focus. Yeah? There's ways you can enhance the longevity of your focus. Like, one thing I've leveraged many times, and so have you, Rob, fucking caffeine. Yeah?
Yes.
Oh, I love coffee. There is almost, I can't name 20 things on this earth that is better than coffee. Do you know what I mean? Coffee is amazing. Sorry, I'm going off on a fucking tangent.
Let's bring it back. Let's go back a step, because the fitness aspect was a good point, and we are very much fitness orientated. But this is not to get everyone fitness orientated.
No.
It's this day and age, we're being told to exercise more than ever. Obesity rates are higher than ever, and the lack of focus is higher than ever as well.
Yeah,
so
fucked.
what fitness does in a roundabout way is unconsciously gives you the tools to have better focus. How does that work? Well, it instills discipline. You have to get up every day and do it. You have to fit it into your lifestyle, whether it's before work, so therefore now you have to get up early in the morning and you have to fit it in. Sometimes you're not going to want to do it where you are motivated. And you're getting up and doing it. That's instilling discipline into your lifestyle. So that's one skill that you're learning over time. And it takes, a number of months, years. And I've been doing it since I was a kid. So now it's just already part of my life. I'm sure there's other ways to do this, by the way. But fitness kills many birds with one stone, because it helps with longevity of life. You feel better, releases endorphins. Again, you could do it maybe painting an art picture, but this is what we're going with today.
Meditation, another good one.
Yeah, we're touching into that in a moment. But delayed gratification. Well, what's delayed gratification good for? Working today, I can work for, again, like you say, half an hour solidly or 45 minutes solidly, quality work, and it may not change my life. Right now, it may not change my life. But
5 years down the line,
or just a week.
Yeah.
It could be something just a week, and that is still delayed because it's not instant. Instant gratification is what's been promoted daily, because you can place an order today and you can get it. You can have a liposuction and then you've lost 5 kilos of fat or 5 stone of fat.
I'm going to be honest though. Sorry to cut you off, Rob. I don't like the weak example. The reason I say this is because it still fits into that TikTok attention span. It's like something might take you 10 fucking years, yeah? And if it's worth it, if you actually have a goal and you are focused on getting said thing, accept that point. Because, yeah, some things will happen in a week, but most things aren't. Like if you're watching this, you're probably, young, you probably want to improve your life. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be an overnight thing. It's probably not going to be a week thing. It's not going to be a month thing. Might not even be a year thing. 5 to 10 years, however, if you're, say, for instance, 21, will 30-year-old you thank you for what you're doing? If so, then do it.
Yeah. The fitness also allow a stress relief, and that is massive.
Yep.
Massive for focus, because think about when you've been the most stressed. Think about it right now. Think of a time where you just got so much on your plate. You don't even think about what you're doing tomorrow. You can't even think about what you're doing right now.
So you can't be focused.
You can't be focused. So once you can eliminate that stress, and through physical activity gives you mental clarity. So after you go for, say, a long run, right? A long run could be anywhere sort of between half an hour upwards, all right? Or an intense exercise, a bit of exercise, weightlifting, go to a HIIT class, and that could be half an hour. You come away feeling a lot better. You don't think about the stresses whilst you're working out, or you don't think about anything other than you're in the moment, right? So in the moment, you're present. Afterwards, you've then got the clarity, you come up with your best ideas afterwards, or maybe throughout, just because you're giving your chance a little bit of a release, a bit of a pause, and it's a bit of a reset. So it keeps you grounded, and then you're able to sort of reset yourself. It's like you're recharging the batteries to go again. So that is why fitness can be used as a tool. And then we can touch base on other things. So like you mentioned before, caffeine. Caffeine is really good, but it could also be overused. It could be it could be an overstimulant. You can use caffeine too much where it becomes a burden. But if you use any tool you use, you have to use efficiently and how it's supposed to be used.
No more than 400 milligrams a day is recommended, and I'd also back that. Like if you're going to leverage caffeine for productivity and focus, don't abuse it. Don't abuse it.
Our lives are inherently better with caffeine than without. And one, because I love it and I love what it comes in, what forms it comes in. And
Rob, show them how big your cup is.
I've got a massive.
Look at this. That's for coffee.
It reminds me that I need to go on a run sometimes. I don't know if you can see it. It's got people running on there, but it's huge. And yeah, I just love it. For me, I have an 80-20 split in my lifestyle with diet, right? I think about that in terms of fitness as well. 80% wants to be that sort of low intensity, and 20% is that high intensity. Or the 80% in terms of nutrition for me wants to be the whole foods, the healthy side of things, and the 20% is that flexibility. And this can be healthy.
Yeah, I don't think that fits into the 20,
it can fall into the 20%, especially if you're going for lattes and things like that, and you're having it daily and you're up in your calories. Let's not go into that tangent. What I'm talking about is you want to use things effectively and not over abuse them, and put it towards your focus.
And it's important to mention why, like, you can build an intolerance to things like caffeine as well, whilst it's leveraged, like whilst you can leverage it, and it feels amazing when you are. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if you can focus for 45 minutes and you've never had a cup of coffee, you have a cup of coffee and all of a sudden you can bash out 2.5 hours of productive work.
Yeah.
It becomes like this, holy shit. I remember like about to teach a spin class. Yeah. I remember about to teach a spin class. I had a coffee for the first time in my life and I was like, what the fuck is this, Rob? I was like, Rob, what the fuck is this? It was magic. It was literally like a euphoric experience. Now I have a mild caffeine intolerance. However, if I...
Caffeine withdrawals.
Caffeine withdrawals. I'm like itching like a fucking crackhead, but I don't have a coffee. However, that coffee, like, this is what I mean. It's important. You can leverage it. And it's like, that, it's such a powerful tool. And like things, and like caffeine's like a really good tool. The best tool though, however, I think you can use for productivity, for focus, for energy, for mood, sleep. All right, okay. Now, if you're getting regularly 5 hours of sleep a night, okay, you're gonna fuck yourself. It's like getting fisted by a fucking guy, by the great Carly from WWE. Fucking gonna ruin yourself. All right. However, if you sleep 7 to 9 hours a night, all of a sudden you're loving life. You have more mood, and which in turn gives you more energy. With more energy comes more motivation, comes more focus, comes more all the good shit in life. Yeah. So what I'm saying to you is, some of you trying to max out on like fucking work and stuff like that. Do you know what you could do to help your work? Okay, sleep an extra 2 hours, and I guarantee you it works.
It does, because someone that works, say, the extra hour and sacrifices sleep. Someone that's working, say, 4 hours a day on their business, they've still got their other job, but going back and working 4 hours, right? But there's someone that's putting 2 to 3 hours of quality work and gaining a little bit of extra sleep. If that
second person does way better,
if they're way better, two up, you're going to see that person who has a little bit of extra sleep because they're able to prioritize their life a little bit better. They're recovering more, and their focus is then laser driven. The quality of work is so much higher.
Sleep is fucking knocked on the head nowadays. Sleep is actually mugged off. Like, do you know, like, have you heard of Gary Vee?
Yes.
Yeah? He said, "Oh, sleep when I'm dead." Well, you're gonna die fucking 30 years early, you dumb cunt. Yeah, you like, don't listen to these people telling you not to sleep. Sleep, fucking sleep. It's like if sleep wasn't a thing, yeah, and it was like prescribed in a bottle, it'd be the best performance enhancing drug of all time. This is what
it does come a point. Again, there's a tipping point.
Yeah, you don't want to sleep like 15 hours a night, but you don't want to do 4. Yeah, 7 to 9 hours is perfect.
Yeah, between 7 and 9 hours. I actually aim for 8, a rounded 8. If I know I can get 8 hours sleeping, sometimes I'm looking at the clock, going, I'd love to stay up a little bit longer and have my de-stress. But if I do that, I'll get 1 hour's less sleep. So I'll sacrifice that 1 hour of mental sort of stimulus or mental downtime to have the sleep, and I'm better for it.
Yep.
I'm not missing out, and I've been guilty of feeling like I'm missing out. I used to stay up so late, and just because I thought I'm going to miss out on something, and I didn't miss out on anything. If anything, I missed out on sleep and feeling better the next day because I woke up in the morning regretting.
And how did so you felt the next day? You just felt trash.
Yeah, but you also feel guilty. You also feel like, wow, I should have gone to sleep. But it's Groundhog Day. You relive it and you keep doing it. And why? Why did you keep doing it? And so at one point you have to look at yourself. Well, I've got to change. And if you know it changes you for the better, try it for 1 week. Just 1 week. Sleep a little bit earlier. And for me, like, it doesn't have to be 7 o'clock in the evening. Some people, you see that, hear the greats. Your routine is your routine. Mm-hmm. If you like to sleep, be in bed by 8 o'clock and get up at 4, fine. That's fine. If you like to go to bed at 10 and get up at sort of 6, 7, 8 o'clock, that's equally fine, right? So there's no sort of right or wrong. You have to put it around your lifestyle and go, where is the best quality work? Where is it going to be my best routine? And for me, I actually go to bed around 10, right? That's a good sweet spot because I get in, I finish my work around 8 o'clock, and I may have eaten beforehand, but now I've got sort of 1 to 2 hours of downtime, however I want to spend it. And now I watch a little bit of Netflix with my partner, sort of an hour. Then I like to read before bed because now I've got into a little bit of a habit of not using my phone, not that blue light, not any sort of screen. I'm having time where I'm just able to sort of wind down, and it's done me a world of good. For others, again, you have your routine. So this is just us exploring different routines.
So let me be objective with this. So there's a pyramid for focus, all right? The bottom the foundation is good sleep hygiene. Straight above that, you have to know who you are, what you want, and how you going and somewhat of how you're going to get there. But if you know why you're doing something and what you want, the how can come later. But in terms of just focus, that's the next block. After that, be organized as fuck. All right, okay, that's fantastic. You know what you want, lovely. Then at the tip, you can start to leverage things like caffeine. All right, but that's how it goes. So you go once again. Okay, good sleep hygiene,
good food. Good exercise, good food, a bit of exercise as well. So good sleep, good food, a bit of exercise, and a well-rounded approach of your what and your why. Then you're going to work out your how. Everything will come out. So as long as you know that you've got that aim and you're not willing to settle for anything else, what is it going to cost you more? What's the greatest cost? Staying where you are or working out how to get to
and stay fucking hydrated as well, by the way. Sorry to interrupt. Stay fucking hydrated. Hydration, sleep, and eating well. Bottom of the pyramid, do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so then just one up above that is your what, why, and how of what you're going to do. One above that is your organization for the what, why, and how.
Yeah.
Then one above that is your leveraging of caffeine, is your leveraging of fucking stimulants and things like that. But if we have to build a pyramid for focus, that's how I would suggest someone view it. Write the fuck down if you need to, all right?
Because if you start at the top one, you've got a crumbling foundation. You have to start with the foundation, build up. So get that right first. If you're saying to yourself, well, I know I can do these ones immediately, but actually I struggle with the bottom. Start at the bottom.
You have to. Build on bedrock, don't build on sand. If you build on sand, you have shaky foundations. Build on bedrock, you've got stability. Okay? And that's literally how it has to be. You have to start with the sleep. The good health, the good like hygiene for sleep, your good hydration, making sure you get like some good nutrients in your diet and things like this. You go one above that. You know, you've got to go know who you are, your what and how, your why.
But
Above
try
that.
it for 1 to 2 weeks.
Yep.
It's not going to cost you anything. So after 2 weeks, you go, fuck that, I'll go and do what I was already doing.
And that will fail.
Yeah, and that will fail because otherwise you wouldn't be listening to this podcast.
So,
right?
so listen to us. Follow that actionable pyramid, and I guarantee you, and Rob will guarantee with me.
Yeah.
We both fucking guarantee you are a more focused human being. And I really think that's a good way to wrap up this episode.
I do as well.
Follow the fucking pyramid, that we've just laid out
And
for you.
the podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna put it in the description. We're gonna put it in the description, of this fucking episode, the actionable steps of what you do. Number 1 being most important, number 4 being least. In that order, okay? Premier League champions, you just secured top 4. But we'll give you the fucking order, all right? Okay? Like, subscribe. This has been Rich Talks. Thank you all for watching. Boom.